SHOT Show 2017 at Spyderco. I'm here with Eric Blesser. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great.
Good to see you again.
Going through some knives.
Let's do it.
Let's go for them. First ones I'm going to go through are the paramilitary Para 3.
Yeah.
It's called the Para 3 because it's the next evolution in the series. They are 3 inches long. That goes from the end of the handle to the tip. That goes along with the 3 inches. One of these nice things about this knife is it gets back to that old original paramilitary. The original paramilitary was a 3-inch folder. In the efforts in trying to develop the knife, we ended up going a little bit larger. We were able to go back down to the original 3-inch size. As some things we're proud of, it fits in the hand very well in this grip. Also fits in the hand very well in this grip. We're very proud of the quality. The compression lock is done very well. It's not too hard to press. It's got great action, great self-close, lots of wear and tear, solid lockup. This one's going to come tip up rather than tip down. Many of the most of the Para 2s that come back in customer service, people are flipping the clips. So we decided to go tip up on this one, see how it went. It's got nice flat screws with big T8s in there. It's got a nice generous lanyard hole. You can tie nearly anything you need to. 4-way clip. We've also gone to a step stop pin. It's got a little bit of a domed top rather than hidden. This pin goes through the liners, through the G10. In our Bender Buster, we're getting a lot more strength out of the step pin than the old traditional screw together stop. And so it's just the next evolution in the Para. Then we're going to be introducing variations. This is the camo. We're also going to do it in all black. We're also introducing it in fully serrated, 110V. We're going to do exclusives and sprints. And so you'll be able to get the Para 3 to your liking.
Basically, all the variations we've seen and more probably of the Para 2 are coming for the Para 3.
That's looking like it. There's already a few people asking for their special variation.
Excellent. Excited. I love the Para 3. I bought it, a few weeks ago, I guess. I've been carrying it ever since and really love it.
We're very proud of it.
Cool.
It's been years in the making.
Excellent.
Next, I'm going to show a value folder. For years, we've had the Tenacious, the Persistence, the Ambitious, the Resilience. They were our value folders made out of China. This one is going to add to that line. It's a Spyderco made in China. It's going to come with 8 CR13 MOV, peel-ply G10, full liners. This one has a stainless backspacer, fills the hand a little bit more. It's got generous sized head screws. One of the things that we're bringing to the market with this value folder is it's nice and streamlined. Many new buyers or mini buyers of Spydercos don't like the large hump and hole so much, especially in the closed. It can be a little cumbersome. So this one streamlines that a bit. It's nice and smooth in the profile closed. When you open it, it's got a nice smooth top, very comfortable in the hand. But it's a nice evolutionary piece for another variation in the Spyderco value folder line.
Very nice. Great way to get introduced to the brand in general and have a nice quality folder at the same time.
Yeah, you know, we go over there, we work with the factories, we really pay attention to the quality, we bring the Spyderco innovations into the market through those factories, and it's the little subtle things that make a Spyderco. And so this is your opportunity. It's priced almost the same as the Tenacious. It's about the same size, but we'll see how it goes.
Excellent.
And then to add to the value folder, this one's another one made in China. This one's coming in BD1, and so we're shipping the steel over there. It's a nice quality American-made steel. It also has a new G10 here. Spyderco's known for their peel-ply G10s. We probably do just about as much G10 as anybody. This one's not a peel ply, but it does give you a slight texture. What they're doing is they're laying a net in there and then laying another top layer on there, and so it's just underneath is this netted layer, and you can kind of feel it in there. So it leaves almost like a slight peel ply, but it also gives it a new unique look and a new unique color. And so this is called the Polestar. It's going to come in that BD1 and that unique new G10. I believe we're calling it Gray Check.
Sweet looking.
Another thing about this is that nice wide mounted clip. you know, if we can spread those screws out, we like to spread those screws out. It gives a nice flat purchase in there. It's a 4-way clip. The liner lock is very well made. And so we're very proud of the quality that this is going to bring. Now, because of the BD1 and the new G10 and things, it is going to be a little bit more than the Efficient and the Tenacious, but it's certainly well worth it and adds to the value folder line.
Nice.
Good guard in the front, not going to slide up on it. Lots of edge, lots of blade to handle ratio, generous lanyard, all the things you look for in a Spyderco.
Sweet.
Next, I'm going to get into a flipper. This one's designed by Brad Southard. We're very proud of the quality of this, as well as the engineering. The first sample I got from Brad didn't have to be changed a bit. His engineering, his craftsmanship was nailed right on, and we're trying to produce what he brought us. So this has a curved titanium bolster. It's got G10 back here. It's nice 3D machined, no voids. It's got a nice custom clip. When you flip it around, it's got the same bolster on the other side, polished G10. The fit and finish and symmetrical work is near perfect. That titanium is full linered, and then it has a stainless insert. And so you have that nice stainless inserted compression lock, G10 backspacer. Now this is a flipper with a compression lock, and we're very happy with how they work. Though my fingers got a little cut in it, they work very well. Because that flipper and that ball bearing and everything moved up next to the kicker, they tend to work very well and be very reliable in use. One of the things Brad did with this as well is he doesn't have a large cutout here for the lock, much like the Para does here. He felt that it makes it a little bit safer. It's a little bit more of a gents. You got to get in there and unlock it a little bit. Also, when your thumb's on top of it, it's nice and comfortable. It's got a little bit of a recurve, a little bit of a stone wash. It's a nice balance. We're excited to bring the next Southard to the market.
So having that recessed lock in there is obviously not a problem. You got a Band-Aid on, you're able to do it.
Yeah. Oh, can I do it? I can!
I
Woo!
just watched you, yeah.
Okay, we're still pushing flippers into compression locks, or compression locks into flippers. So this one's a little bit different. It's got that nice open back. It's got large screws with simple construction. It's got the compression lock that's nested. This is a G10 carbon fiber laminate. Again, the flipper works very well. This is designed by Paul Alexander. He also did our Ouroboros. This fits a lot of hands. It's got a generous guard in the front, small hands and large hands alike. It fits nicely. It's got a lot of blade to handle ratio, a lot of edge. One of the things that works very nicely with the compression lock is that the hole works beautifully along with the flipper. The flipper also has a little bit of a chamfer around it, so that when you're going in and out of the pocket, it's not as uncomfortable. It's got a nice deep pocket wire clip, so it hides away and just tucks that lanyard hole out of the pocket. And so this is called the Sliver, designed by Paul Alexander, probably this summer. S30V.
Nice.
This next one is a Zome. They came out last year. We had the Endura and the Delica. If you look at this, you'll notice it's the same kind of pattern. It's a lot of greens and dark grays and blacks. If you drop it in the mud, it's probably going to disappear real quickly. We're proud of the Zome. It's really into the plastic, so the wear and tear is very good. It's highly unlikely to wear out on you. Also, we're able to give the patterns and colors we like. You don't get the swirled effect that you often get when you're trying to mold different colors. A deep pocket wire clip, nice classic, fits the hand great. It's a lot of knife in a little package. That's why the Dragonfly's done so well for us for so many years. Nice bi-directional texturing, great piece. As a side note, you know, we got a whole stack of Zomes that come in all different colors.
Oh man.
Now we're not making any of these. We were just playing around. If customers want them or they get any traction, you know, we might try to make some of them. But Zome is a really neat process. It brings a lot to the table as far as what we're able to do with lightweights. You know, we take great pride in making lightweight knives, and this is just another addition to that.
Zome spelled Z-O-M-E, right?
Z-O-M-E, yeah, and the E sounds a little funny, kind of like Kobe.
Yeah.
And so in Japan, they pronounce it that way.
So if you see it in print, just know that it's not Zome, it's Zome.
But it's a Japanese process, and we tried to honor their name.
Very cool. Sweet. Well, I hope that we can see a lot of these colors in the future because they're sweet looking.
Yeah, lots of possibilities. Let's keep going. Okay, we have a Wharncliffe Delica. One of the things we did with this, we had to change the mold so that it received that nice Wharncliffe. We take great pride in our Wharncliffes. They come to a nice crisp tip. You don't lose any distance. They're nice and straight. When you're making Wharncliffes, it sounds easy to make, but they're not so easy to make because getting that tip so it goes where you want it. This is the serrated version. We're also going to make it in plain edge. Naturally, you know, Wharncliffes are great for getting up nice intricate cuts. Also, when you're passing through something, they don't have a lot of resistance for the distance of the cut. You know, if you're going to cut through something like a hawkbill, you have dig. If you're going to cut through something that has a bit of a belly, you lose that strength. And so, you know, when you're passing through something with a Wharncliffe, it gets a nice, deep, clean cut. And so for your everyday use and lots of other purposes, Wharncliffes are a nice add.
Yeah, I think it may be time to pick up another Delica. Looks nice.
The next one I was going to show is the Cali. This one's made by Moki. Been a factory we've been working with for a long time. They make beautiful folders. Many people know what the Cali is. It's a knife we've been developing for many years. This one comes with a laminated hat 40. The hat 40 is not a stainless, so it's going to get a little patina on it. So you'll probably get a little patina on the line. A lot of people like that. It's kind of the organic characteristic of the knife, but it performs very well. This comes with a peel ply forest green, nice clean backspacer, all sanded, nice fit and finish, great action, that deep pocket wire clip. For many Spyderco junkies, this is one of the most evolved pieces we make. And so we're proud to do a sprint run, just a quick run of the Cali in hat 40 with forest green.
I've got the 3.5 in super blue. I have
Very
that
nice.
at home.
Super blue's fun too.
Yeah.
Cuts and cuts.
Yeah, and I love that knife. So I have not picked up a Cali 3 yet, so
Yeah.
this is probably a good opportunity to do that.
You know, and with Moki, one of the things they do is they've been making backlocks for generations, decades. And when you open these and the way they fall open and they click into place and they have that solid, you know, lockup and they fall closed just like they're supposed to. I mean, they do
There's a
good
little
job.
bit of joy associated with that experience. I agree.
Okay, this is the Police 4. This is going to come out of Japan, but with a K390. If you're not accustomed to K390, it's not a stainless steel. You get above 13% chrome, it becomes a stainless, so this isn't. It's got a lot of carbides. It's going to cut and cut. Then it comes with a G10 scales, full liners, full sanded, nice fit and finish, made out of Japan. The handle's a little bit different than the traditional Police. It's got a little bit more curve to it, fits the hand well. You can get in it this way. You can also choke up on the forefinger choil or just climb all over it. But it's a nice quality full flat grind evolution of our classic Police model.
Is it just me, or has the blade shape evolved a little bit?
It is. It's a little bit longer, a little bit wider. The Police model has always been a lot of blade to handle ratio, but this one has the forefinger choil, and the old ones don't. And so once you add that forefinger choil, it really changes the dynamics of the knife. And so to keep a lot of what the Police model is, it certainly changed the length and how the design goes.
And I feel like there's more of a sweep to this, more along the lines of the military or paramilitary than before.
Yeah,
I could be wrong on that, but it seems more...
It might be. That's very observant. Usually the Police model is fairly straight. And then it curves up at the tip a lot more. Now that you're mentioning it, seems to have a lot of curve in it, but I'd have to set them side by side.
Yeah, I think the lines have changed slightly.
Very observant.
It's prettier in my opinion.
You must have been around our knives before.
Just a few times.
Okay, so the next one I'm going to do is the Meerkat. Many people have seen this before. One of the unique things about this is the lock. It operates just like a backlock. You have a hammer that drops into a cavity, but you slide the scale on this pivot, which lifts the liner and the lock by a pin and unlocks it. With a little bit of practice, you know, some people just kind of kick it down.
Wow, cool.
This was the first knife we made a wire clip out of. This was back in the 90s, followed by the Q. We've made a number of variations through the years, blues, blacks, reverse S's. This one's going to come with a nice hat 40 and that orange that we did the previous sprint runs on. It is just a sprint run. It's going to come in and go out, and then the Meerkat is gone once again. So for you Meerkat junkies, it's a nice ad.
Cool. Nice, I like it.
Next is the Little Temperance. I've said this before, but this is a fistful of knife. You know, it fills the hand nicely. It's got a nice guard in the front and back. It's not going to slide out of your hand. It's got a nice indexing for if you're going to index it around for reverse or regular. Fits the hand best both ways. It's 3 inches from the tip to the guard. It's fairly thick, but it's got a nice tall grind. And so for a slicer, it's great, but for pure working, it's got the thickness you need. Highly developed. It's got the nested compression lock. It's got a wide stance clip so that it's not going anywhere. Those screws are spread out. It goes 4 ways, but this is a fistful of power. The Little Temperance 3, made in S30V, by the way. Okay. We're shipping in the S30V to Japan. Some of the knives we made in America in the past were great, but we don't have the capacity at this time, so we can make the Temperance in S30V like the traditional one, but made in Japan.
Cool. Little Temperance 3.
Little Temperance 3.
Sweet.
Next are a couple ball locks. You'll notice right off the bat, both of them have white ceramic balls. That sounds terrible.
I'm not going to edit that out. Go ahead.
So as you'll notice, there's a little bit of black on some of these. As they rotate, sometimes they're polishing the stainless a little bit, and so that's not a bad thing. Don't worry about it. Sometimes it'll just rub off with the finger. The ceramic's very lightweight, but also very strong. With these ball bearing locks, they have a large ramp that they roll into, and the ramp has a great wear and tear. The ball has to work all the way up through the ramp to create vertical play and wear the lock out. In the tens of thousands we've sold over the years, we've never worn one out. We also feel it's one of the safest locks. During use, it's very highly unlikely to unlock on you. You really got to grab it with your finger and thumb and pull it back.
And I noticed that as I got my hand on it, that you really do need to, in my case, get my fingernails in there. Just because my fingers are fat, but I got to get my fingernails in there in order to pull back on that. So I can't imagine accidentally pulling back on it.
You know, with skill, you might do it with one hand, but you do have to use 2 fingers. And then it's got a nice full back spacer so that when you're using it for a long period of time, you don't get those wear-in lines. It's got a nice guard in the front. It fits the hand fully, both reverse and regular. Nice deep pocket wire clip. If you know of our former Dolaras, you know, I use this term on 2 knives we're making, the Chinook and this one, but this one's just leaner and meaner than the old one. It's easier to carry. It's not as wide in the pocket this way. It opens nice and smooth with that ball bearing lock. It's not going to wear out. It's strong for pure use all day. Tough to beat. Nice strong tip. We're very proud of the Dolara model.
Cool.
Then it gets us to the cue ball. You can tell they're almost same thickness, same kind of construction, same ball lock.
Still very related.
Yes, you still have all that power you have in this, but in a small, compact Wharncliffe. Also, if you look at this 4-finger choil, it drops down, and so it really acts as a lot of guard. You're highly unlikely to just slide up on this thing. But because of that back that drops out, you can really crawl all over this thing without having you hook the back of your hand uncomfortably. You can bring it around, you can cap it. It fits the hand in a lot of ways nicely. It brings all the features a Wharncliffe does for that intricate cutting and that flat surface, but that nice cutting power. And so this is the cue ball, called the cue ball because of the white ball. But it's a compact fistful of Wharncliffe.
Nice. I like them.
Then
the
I have
last knife you have on the table got a pretty cool story to it.
Yeah, this is a knife called the 100 Pacer, but there's a native snake to Taiwan called the 100 Pacer, very poisonous snake. You can get 100 paces typically before you pass away. If you look at the 100 Pacer, it's got a very unique diamond pattern on its skin or its scales. And it's got a very unique nose for the head. And so this really does give the characteristics of the 100 Pacer. So it's a Taiwanese designer for a Taiwanese snake made in Taiwan. So it kind of connects everything. We use a brown and a tan. It's done in 2 layers, and then they're machined differently. It's got great grip in any direction you push. It's not bad going in and out of the pocket. It's got a nice little flat so that goes in and out of the pocket nicely.
Perfect.
It's got an elongated lanyard so you can tie a different type of cord there or have more flexibility. Big, generous screw together, simple construction. It's all nested, dual nested liner lock that's been skeletonized. Because of the height of the blade and the full flat too, when you're cutting with it, it's almost like a kitchen knife. It's a beautiful cut. And so we're very excited to bring the 100 Pacer to the market, designed by Johnny Lau.
Nice. Great story. Cool knife. Thanks for all the stories, I guess, and all the knives and all the descriptions. Excited about a ton of them. And just thanks for being here and
I'm
showing
excited too. Thank you very much.
Eric Glesser with Spyderco. We're at SHOT Show 2017. Thanks for watching.